here in Tennessee as we get set for kickoff between the Arizona Cardinals and the Tennessee Titans. Cliff Kingsbury in his third season as the head coach of Arizona. 13 wins, 18 losses, 1 tie. He knows there's heat in the kitchen right now. Mike Vrabel, he made some adjustments not only to his coaching staff out of necessity, but also to the way he's handled some things as well. His 4th season as the head coach of Tennessee. He's done a really, really good job. He had one of the best quotes, I thought, in our meetings the other day. He said, I've had 3 jobs. I've been a caddy. I've been a player. I've been a coach. I don't want a 4th job.
Who would, the way that he's played? What's so amazing to me is the rapid ascension that he's had from being a player in the NFL to a head coach, and just how well his team has done.
Chester Rogers is back deep to receive. There's been a lot of injuries for the Tennessee Titans. Rogers is going to be spotlighted even more because of those injuries. Matt Prater will tee it off. Here we go. From Tennessee, we are underway, and Rogers will take it in the end zone and just comfortably take a knee. And here comes Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill's battled COVID over the last couple of weeks. It's made him have to adjust a little bit as far as getting to know his receivers. 40 total touchdowns last season, a franchise record. He's 18-8 since taking over as the starting quarterback.
Pretty amazing what happens when you have the type of supporting cast that he's had here in Nashville.
We'll keep an eye on one-on-one matchups. Byron Murphy is covering A.J. Brown on the near side. Derrick Henry in the backfields, all by himself. That's Brown in motion. First play of the year. Henry tripped up from behind the line of scrimmage. Chandler Jones comes in to make the ankle tackle. Arizona said, we got to tackle him low. That's the biggest thing as we look at the lineup for the Tennessee Titans. Quessenberry, we weren't sure if he was going to start at right tackle.
But he's there, and he's going to be a big role on this offensive line. Expect Arizona to poke the bear. They're going to poke and prod, lining both Watt and Chandler over him to find the matchup they like.
The loss of 3. It's 2nd down and 13. Tannehill, long snap count. Looking to throw for the first time. Has Henry underneath, and Henry's wrapped up as he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Jordan Hicks will make the tackle. It's a gain of 3. Hicks is a big storyline for the Arizona Cardinals. He's in the linebacking crew. As we look at their defensive line, J.J. Watt, Zach Allen, they feel like he's long and gangly and could do some damage when he gets to the quarterback.
And he's also added some weight. I remember him at Boston College. He is a nice addition. The coach is telling us this is the deepest defensive line they've ever had.
3rd down and 10. This is what Arizona wanted to do, is put Tennessee in these situations. Tannehill from the gun. Pressure's coming from the backside. Pass is tipped, intended for Chester Jones. Byron Murphy comes in and gets his hand on the football.
What a great way to start this game for Arizona. You win on 1st down, put them behind the sticks. But Byron Murphy reads this. He breaks on the ball immediately. Tannehill was late with that football and is lucky he didn't get it intercepted.
So the first punt of the day, and our first look at Brett Kern kicking from left to right, and Rondale Moore, who is electric, or has been at least in college. And Moore, he'll take it from the 29-yard line. He's going to try to return it. He's got a couple blockers. And he's out of bounds close to the 39. Shuttled out of bounds by Kerry Blasingame. And the Cardinals will go on offense for the first time. Kyler Murray leading the way after a 47-yard punt, a 12-yard return. Kyler Murray was banged up last year, and that sort of changed the landscape of the Cardinal season.
Their effectiveness was like a spigot, Tom, that turned off when he was able to run the football. He averaged over 6 yards a carry. That opened everything up for the throw game. Once he got hurt, teams were able to defend them much more effectively.
Darrell Daniels is in as the tight ends. In the backfield, it's Chase Edmonds. He and James Conner will split time. Dupree shows blitz. Murray drops back to pass. Throws long to the near side. Hopkins wide open inside the 35-yard line. And he's out of bounds quickly, close to the 23.
Well, that was, yeah, sorry, buddy. That was Jack Rabbit Jenkins that was in coverage there, but he slips because of that great inside move. DeAndre Hopkins knows that he had him off the snap. The ball was underthrown, but a great completion.
Gain of 38 yards, and now the hurry-up offense for the Arizona Cardinals.
This is where they like to hunt. When they get that first down, they like to hit the gas pedal. Keeps teams off balance.
First down from the 23-yard line.
Look at the bunch down here at the bottom of the screen.
Off the play fake, Murray will keep it himself. Murray inside the 20, has a blocker inside the 15 and out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. I think Rondale Moore may be called for something there on that particular play.
Well, Tom, as we like to say in our business, if you're not holding, you're not trying.
Replay first down.
It certainly does, and on the perimeter, and it happened a lot to this team a season ago. Arizona was the worst team in the National Football League for offensive penalties for stalling drives, and we just saw it there.
Here we go. The penalty woes, 113 total penalties, most in the National Football League. 17 offensive penalties on third down. 31 offensive penalties by the offensive line. That was on Moore. But still, it's a storyline. Two tight ends, left side of the offensive line. Hopkins in motion. Murray is in trouble. Dupree shuttles him out. He dumps it off to Edmonds. Flags come in as Edmonds is spun toward the 30-yard line. Harold Landry in on the tackle. And Jerome Boger's crew already throwing a couple of flags. The line judge is Rusty Baines. He's the one who made the call, and Mike Vrabel is asking for an explanation. They're going to push him back.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense, number 79. This penalty is declined. Second down.
All right, Aaron, so that's already two penalties, and Cliff Kingsbury knows that was a point that they wanted to work on coming into this year.
Well, how could they? Their first-team offense only had 9 total snaps in the preseason where everybody was together. Those drives accounted for 3 3-and-outs. I'm not surprised by what we're seeing here at all.
So second down and 17. First down marker is at the 13-yard line. Edmonds in motion out of the backfield. He joins Hopkins on the near side. Murray looking right, throwing to the far side for A.J. Green. He's got it in the first down, out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Amani Hooker was in on the coverage, and they just left him open.
Amani Hooker was late getting over there. That was a great throw by Kyler Murray. Shows you his arm strength, but that ball floated. Had Hooker been there a little quicker, he might have been able to get a hand on it.
Gain of 21 yards. And the handoff is given to Edmonds, and he goes right up the middle. He didn't gain anything. It's first and goal, or second and goal. All right, so this offensive line has been maligned a little bit because of penalties. But they brought in Rodney Hudson, and they feel like that has really stabilized the line.
There's no question. He's the ultimate force multiplier inside there. You get a Pro Bowl level player. He's smart. He can take some of the load off Kyler Murray having to direct protections, and he firms up that inside where teams like to pressure the elusive quarterback.
All three tight ends split out to the right. James Conner in for the first time. Bottom of your screen. And whistles blow, and the play is blown dead, and it's a false start. Third penalty.
Before the snap, false start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
All right, so 3 penalties. That one on Demetrius Harris, the tight ends. It'll be second and goal from the 14. Defense for the Titans. They've made some changes. Nico Autry at the end position was brought in. Bud Dupree, we talked about him. He was brought in at the linebacker position. He loves the room. Jackrabbit Jenkins. Mike Vrabel said, I've loved him since the day he came into the room.
There's Elijah Molden.
And now a timeout called by Arizona. Cliff Kingsbury's all the way out onto the field.
Man, this thing just looks discombobulated, doesn't it, Tom?
Well, it does, but then you look at even some of the numbers. Murray's 3 for 3 for 48 yards, so he's controlling his controllables on this drive, isn't he?
There's no question. I think Kyler Murray gets a bad rap. He's had 2 tremendous seasons back-to-back. Was the NFL Offensive Rookie Player of the year that he got drafted out of Oklahoma. Made it to the Pro Bowl last year, playing through injuries. He's done his job, but the rest of the supporting cast, including this coaching staff, need to elevate their level of play as well. But we're seeing the very same things that affected this offense and nullified them at times last year have shown up here on the first drive in week 1.
Yeah, and remember, too, no fans really last year. I mean, there were some, but this is a full house here at Nissan Stadium.
I think home field advantage, if it's normally 3 points, is going to be exponential this year. 3.5, 4, maybe even 4.5 points, and maybe that's what's contributing here to your point, Tom.
Tennessee last year 30th in red zone touchdown percentage. They allowed 69% of the scores in the red zone to be touchdowns. That's high. Murray's going to keep it himself. Avoids 1. He goes inside the 10 to the 5, but there is a flag that's being thrown at the 18. And it's going to be holding again, I believe, on the Cardinals.
Holding. Offense. Number 67. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Here's the culprit right here. Keep your eye there. This is a draw play. They wanted to get Kyler Murray's legs in, so you want to be able to open up the rush lane. He's fine right there, but he grabs him and throws him to the ground right in front of the official, Tom, and it's another penalty. They probably got as many penalty yards on this drive as they have positive offensive ones.
There's some truth to that. He moves the ball back to the 24. It is 2nd and goal from the 24.
Unbelievable.
Edmonds back in. He's at the bottom of your screen with Hopkins. 3 receivers to the top. Murray to the middle of the field. Passes complete to Kirk, and Kirk falls down to the 16-yard line. Wrapped up by Rashaan Evans, a gain of 8 yards.
And this is really a strength on weakness situation. 3rd downs were terrible for this Tennessee defense, and they weren't very good in the red zone either. So all red zone opportunities, all 3rd down in football games are important, but this one coming up for a Titans defense that wants to play stouter, maybe the most important they've had in a while. This is really critical for their confidence.
Is this conservative here, you think, or are they going to go for it here?
I think they're going to try to put this ball in the end zone.
Kyler Murray looking toward the end zone, throws it up for more, and it's over his head, incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Kingsbury wanted a hold, and it was close.
This is Elijah Molden, number 24 in defense for the Tennessee Titans, that did an excellent job on Kirk. Coaches told us that he's a gamer, that he actually plays better than he practices at time. Rondell Moore wanted a penalty there, and he probably was right.
I think he was right. I think even though the pass was high, I think he was being clamped down.
Well, you'll never hear me complain about the officials letting these guys play physically. They just got to call it even.
34-yard field goal attempt by Matt Prater. And it is good. And the Cardinals, despite the penalties, take the early lead. It's 3-0. 9:22 to play here in the first quarter. Matt Prater's field goal has given the Cardinals a 3-0 lead, considering 4 penalties. 1 was declined, so 3 overall accepted. Really thwarted the Cardinals in the red zone. They've settled for 3, but at least they got points on that first drive.
Pretty remarkable considering just how bad they executed on that drive. But Tennessee's also got to shore up its pass defense. They were really loose back there as well.
Chester Rogers back deep to receive. This is going to be a short kickoff, so he's going to come up inside the 10-yard line, and he'll have an opportunity to return this one. He makes one man miss, and then he stumbles down shy of the 20-yard line. Marco Wilson makes the special teams tackle. All right, J.J. Watt is a huge pickup by the Arizona Cardinals, and if only for this game. His numbers against the Titans are just incredible. In fact, he laughed yesterday when we talked about how good he's been against Tennessee.
He feels it, and that sort of confidence will serve him really well. He played all 16 games last year for just the 2nd time in the last 5 years, so as happy as he is to be here, his health will be critical this season. And
I wonder, too, if he will be on a pitch count. Cliff Kingsbury said, listen, we're going to manage him as the year goes on to make sure that we have him for the entire season. It's first down. Tannehill under center. A.J. Brown in motion. They give it to Henry, and Henry is tackled from behind by J.J. Watt. He got him on the ankles again. It's a loss of nearly 2.
Here's the rookie Zaven Collins. The life of a linebacker is not easy. You got to hit your gap in your assignment and then either take on a block or a running back. Contact's not an option. J.J. Watt gets there first. But that was a great job of getting him down onto the ground. Really nice job to read that there and make the tackle.
And Zaven Collins is a guy we're going to see a lot of. It's part of an interior in this linebacking crew that is young. Jeff Swain was in motion for the Titans. Off the play fake, Tannehill is hit. The ball is loose. It's loose on the 6. It's picked up at the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Chandler Jones knocked it away. Corey Peters picked it up and went into the end zone. How about that for a spark defensively?
Keep your eye on Chandler Jones. He's a monster off this outside edge. It's his job to set a high edge on contain. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. Tannehill was not expecting them to be there. Chandler stayed home and is letting everybody know that he should have got the contract he deserved.
Look at Peters as he dives to the goal line. He wanted to make sure he held on to the football, but also got to the line.
Tennessee was fantastic last year protecting the football. Arizona really struggled to do that, particularly defensively. It's been all Cardinals here so far at the beginning of this first quarter.
Well, Jones' 5th sack in 4 games versus the Titans. He has 1 in at least every game. He also has at least 1 sack in each of the last 6 openers. All right, so Jerome Boger is going to take a look at that previous play because it is a scoring play. Where was Peters' knee? He may be down.
He's short his left
A.J.
knee.
Brown made that tackle. All right, they'll go to the tablet. We'll be back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway. Geico. You could save even more by bundling home and car insurance. And by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Well, it turned out to be a 14-yard sack.
The rule on the field is that there was a fumble recovered by the defense, but the defense will stop short of the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal from that spot.
Jerome Boger, the veteran referee. Here it is right here. Run us through that here, Aaron.
Well, you see his knees down right there, and the ball's about right there. So it's about a ball length or half a yard short.
Gene Steratore, what do you see there, Gene? They got it right, didn't they?
You know what? Yeah, great play by Chandler Jones, too, before Tannehill has his arm moving forward. So they look at fumble, then they look at every aspect, and we could clearly see that the knee was down, as Aaron said. Ball short of the goal line. Great job by replay, and really good job by Aaron of explaining it as well, Tom.
Yeah, thank you, Gene. We appreciate that. Love having Gene Steratore with us. James Conner is in the backfield, and we've got movement on the right side of the Cardinals' offensive line.
Incredible.
False start. Offense, number 81. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
All right, so that's 4 penalties for 30 yards. And look at the reaction from Simmons. And they know it. They know that there was an issue last year with the Cardinals.
And they're also benefiting in front of their home crowd. Remember, NFL teams did not play in front of full stadiums. You're now in a place with a bunch of pent-up demand. Coming in here today, Tom, these fans were fired up, and they're already making a difference.
1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Denico Autry is a late addition for the Titans into the defensive line. And now a timeout called by Arizona. That's timeout, number 2.
That's 2nd.
Keystone Cops out there.
You know, Mike Vrabel shows this video before each and every game about certain tendencies that he wants his team to understand. And when we asked him about the video he showed this week, he said it was all the crazy things that happened in week 1. And he said penalties are part of that. And I think we've seen that with the Arizona Cardinals.
There's no question about that. He also talked about intentional grounding, gunners running 20 yards out of bounds when they're covering kicks, and making too far of runs there. The execution is critical at this level, but you got to understand there's one less preseason game. There were a ton of injuries on this team. There hasn't been crowd noises before. Both these staffs told us, we don't think it's going to affect us, but without question, it's affected both of these teams.
Connors in the backfield. He's number 6. Over from the Steelers. Hopkins, bottom of your screen. A.J. Green, top of your screen. Murray looking for A.J. Green, and it's tipped away. Christian Fulton knocked it away as it was coming toward A.J. Green. It'll be second down and goal.
When you're one-on-one in the red zone, you got to snap that head around. Great job by Fulton getting that right arm there. He knows that ball is going to come out quick. He knows that Green is a big target. That was really nice job of tight coverage there.
Tight ends are shielding Green to the right. Hopkins by himself to the left. Second and goal. Murray assessing. This is where he sometimes does his best work. Scrambling and throwing toward the end zone. Incomplete. He was just trying to get rid of it. Harold Landry was chasing him down from behind.
It was an excellent job. One of the strategies that Tennessee is going to use today is what we saw there. Green dogging their linebackers. If they're not involved in coverage, spy them, but don't try to go after him until he leaves the pocket. They wanted Murray to spill on the perimeter, and that's exactly why there.
All right, give me a thought on third and goal here from the 6.
This has got to be tough. You have to respect Murray's legs, but if you're Tennessee, you must stay in your rush lanes, and Vrabel's going to take a timeout to talk about it.
There will be a time where we won't have 3 timeouts in the first quarter of a football game. But we've had 3, 2 by Cliff Kingsbury, and now 1 by Mike Vrabel. He just didn't like the way the defense was aligned. So it'll be third and goal from the 6. Cliff Kingsbury came to Arizona. Not only was he a high-flying quarterback, but he was also a high-flying offensive mind in the college game. And he's got weapons, there's no doubt about it. He's got a 3-point lead, but he's looking for more.
But he's also had to adjust his game. This isn't pure air raid. Having a run game where you can run the football when you want to, but also when you have to is going to be critical as they move forward.
Third and goal from the 6. Pressure's coming. Murray breaks away. Murray throws on the run, back of the end zone. Caught Hopkins. Did he get in bounds? He did. Touchdown Cardinals. Jack Rabbit Jenkins was in on the coverage. DeAndre Hopkins is a magician in the back of the end zone.
Big pressure off this left-hand side by Harold Landry. That gets Kyler Murray to spill. But how about that arm strength, throwing across his body with accuracy, both feet in the ground. DeAndre Hopkins showing you why he's the best wide receiver in the game.
DeAndre Hopkins, a catch in 128 consecutive games, a 6-yard touchdown reception. It's the 61st receiving touchdown of his career, and Prater's point after. It's on its way, and it is good. It's 10-0 Arizona with 8:11 to play here in the first quarter. He's electrifying, and he's already electrified the offense here this afternoon. DeAndre Hopkins, 2 catches so far, 44 yards. One of them was a 6-yard touchdown reception from Kyler Murray. You talked about Murray's arm strength. It was evident on that particular throw. And now it's 10-0 Arizona with 8:11 to play in the first quarter. Chester Rogers back deep to receive. The Matt Prater kickoff. And Prater just boots it to the back of the end zone. Paramount Plus is the home of the world's game. Stream more than 2,000 matches live, including Syria, UEFA Champions League, the NWSL, CONCACAF qualifiers, Paramount Plus. Try it for free. All right, this is great camera work, by the way, as you take a look at this touchdown by DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, watch his footwork.
He knows where he's at on the field. He immediately looks down after making the reception to make sure that he gets those tippy toes in bounds.
Derrick Henry so far, 2 carries, -4. Burks are in motion. They do a sweep to Henry. And Henry gets a couple of yards, but it's only a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Michael Dogby was in on the tackle.
But so is Isaiah Simmons. Zaven Collins from that backside. That was a toss lead into the perimeter. Zaven Collins has a great nose for the football. He triggers immediately, and that's part of the reason why Derrick Henry couldn't puncture the defense and get vertical.
Well, Henry's getting closer to balance it back out. As we mentioned before his last run, he was in the negative territory. He's now -2 on 2nd and 8. 2 on the play clock for Tannehill. 1 on the play clock. He hands it off to Henry, and Henry bursts his way through and gets up close to the 34-yard line. Isaiah Simmons stopped him, but it'll be 3rd down and short.
The left side of that offensive line is eating a combination block between Roger Saffold and Taylor Lewan. Was beautiful that sprang that run.
Another flag down on the field on the far side. Julio Jones and Byron Murphy were going at it.
It's a critical drive for this Tennessee team. As bad
After
as
the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 2, 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So Julio Jones called for the unsportsmanlike penalty. Mike Vrabel's teams aren't often penalized. They're very New England-like in that sense.
you love the physicality, you love the intent, but you got to be smart. And that takes them from a position of strength running the football, having a makeable 3rd down, to putting them behind the sticks, which feeds right into the strength of this pass rushing Cardinal defense.
See the top of the frame right there, the pushing and shoving. 3rd down at 16. Tannehill, pressure's coming from J.J. Watt. He avoids it, throws underneath, and it's nearly intercepted. Byron Murphy was almost in the right place at the right time, but again, the pressure was coming from J.J. Watt.
Pass rushing is all about one-on-one matchups. There's J.J. Watt here. He's lined up over right guard Nate Davis. That's a hard block for a guard. They also brought some underneath pressure, just a mismatch. They're trying to get out quickly because it was a screen, but because Watt showed up so quickly, too quickly, it was busted.
Rondale Moore is back deep to receive. He played in the Music City Bowl here in Nashville. Purdue didn't play well, but he certainly did as he dives forward to the 35. Arizona's already up 10-0. They'll get the football back again. Kyler Murray going back to work.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Lowe's, home improvement sponsor of the NFL. And by Progressive. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance.
The 9/11 Memorial in Murfreesboro is a 3,000-pound beam from the World Trade Center that points towards New York City. The ceremony today before the ball game with the national anthem sung by Julie Candela, whose father John perished in 9/11, was unbelievable. Cardinals go back on offense on 1st down from the 35-yard line. Murray is going to be a receiver. The pitch goes to Edmonds. Edmonds running left, and he gets up to the 39-yard line or so. Harold Landry makes the tackle, a gain of 4. Little wildcat for the Arizona Cardinals.
Tom, one of the things that's interesting to me so far in this ball game is how many 2 tight end sets the Arizona Cardinals are running. They're almost matching the offensive formations of Tennessee, which is unusual.
Extra player getting off the field for the Cardinals. Darrell Daniels was late. Kirk in motion. Murray takes the high snap. Looks left, throws left, has Hopkins. Jackrabbit Jenkins makes the tackle. Gain of 3. If you're wondering about the name Jackrabbit and why we're not saying Janoris, well, he doesn't like it. He's told everybody, I don't like the name Janoris. I want to be known as Jackrabbit. And he's got a 3rd down and 3.
He's so twitchy. Now here's some one-on-one tight press coverage on both sides. Kyler Murray told us if we see that, we've got to take that shot.
Out of the gun, throws right, passes incomplete. His intended receiver, A.J. Green, never broke away from his route. It'll be 4th down, and that's a huge defensive stop for the Titans.
Well, rubbing is racing, but you're not supposed to do it with your own players. Christian Kirk completely cuts off A.J. Green, and that's another head scratcher there on an important 3rd down. Nice stop for the Titans defensively, Tom. This was a historically bad 3rd down unit last year.
Andy Lee, now number 14 for the Cardinals. Chester Rogers back deep to receive. Lee was number 4. He sold it, though, to Rondell Moore. And he's got a big foot. Rogers lets it go over his head. That's a smart decision. 5:19 to play in the first quarter. J.J. Watt in a Cardinals uniform. Yeah, he's liking it so far. His team is up 10. Arizona scored on its first 2 possessions for the first time since 2006. They lead at 10-0. Tennessee, meanwhile, well, they've been scuffling on their first 3 drives.
They've really struggled, and a big reason why is because of what they haven't done on first down. They've had 3 attempts, -3 yards, -1 yards, and +2.
Which is an objective that Arizona wanted to have defensively on first down from the 20-yard line.
Check.
Ryan Tannehill is adjusting the play. Off the play fake to Henry. Pressure's coming. He's hit, and he is spun down. Chandler Jones has been a busy man this afternoon for the Arizona Cardinals. That's his 2nd sack.
Chandler Jones at the bottom right of your screen just uses those hands. He's so long. Taylor Lewan, coming off the ACL, cannot get his hips around quickly. As an offensive lineman, you have to stay between the pass rusher and the quarterback. But because Chandler gets around him so quickly, his elusive athleticism overpowers Lewan and sacks Tannehill. Another negative play on first down.
That moves the football back inside the 15 to the 14. Swain is in motion for the Titans. Tannehill throws to his left as Chester Rogers, but Byron Murphy was in on the coverage. All right, they have to get the running game going, don't they, Tennessee?
Yeah, King Henry's got it going, but there's too many guys being able to run through. You saw Chandler Jones there with a tackle for loss. J.J. Watt with a tackle for loss. Now it's backside. Boom, Zaven Collins and company are showing up. Tennessee up front has to get a hat on a hat to give Derrick Henry room to run.
Todd Downing in his first year as the offensive coordinator for Tennessee was the tight ends coach previously. Arthur Smith is in Atlanta as their head coach. Arthur did a wonderful job here. Todd's talented. He was the offensive coordinator in Oakland. Play clock down to 3. Tannehill has time. And out of the backfield, he's able to find McNichols, and McNichols is spun out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. It'll be 4th down.
This Arizona defense is hunting, man. They feel it. They were really good rushing the quarterback a season ago. As you see Isaiah Simmons there, the very versatile player out of Clemson. But they have done a remarkable job early on, Tom, of stopping the run. And when you can do that to this Titan offense, everything else shuts down as well.
Well, here we go. A little trick play by the Titans on 4th down and 5. Make it 4th and 4. They're going to try to throw out of this formation, and they've got a first down. Amani Hooker with the reception. Matthias Farley with the pass. And it's the first time that Tennessee will snap a football beyond the 27-yard line of the Titans.
This is just a simple Texas route with sprint right option passing. It completely catches Arizona off guard, and that's just the sort of play that this team needs to get that offense jump started.
I got to tell you, it's funny, as we watch it again, there wasn't a whole lot on this pass, but there didn't need to be a whole lot on this pass. Mike Vrabel said, we just don't want any trick plays against us. Well, he rolls one at the Arizona Cardinals. Play clock down to 2. And now Henry. And Henry's wrapped up and taken down pretty quickly. Corey Peters makes the tackle. He went up. Everything else has been down, but it's another loss on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Corey Peters does a good job of not staying blocked. He defeated the block of Roger Saffold, who's a big tank and one of the better run blockers on this front line. That's the thing in the NFL, Tom. Guys get blocked, but they don't stay blocked for long.
Tannehill changing the play again. Henry. He is smothered again. Zaven Collins makes the tackle. It'll be third down. Let's go to JB and Boomer.
Seattle loves coming east, Boomer.
11-1 in their last 12 on the East Coast. How about this time, Russell Wilson? He is 5-6, 71 yards, 2 touchdown passes. This one to Gerald Everett, the former tight end from the Rams. They take a 14-3 lead over the Colts.
The dulcet tones of Tom McCarthy and Aaron Taylor.
JB, it's great to hear your voice. It's third down and 9.
I'm going to have to look Dothan up at halftime.
From the 33-yard line for Tennessee. The pressure's coming. Jones has got him again from the backside. Number 3 for Chandler Jones. I think he's feeling it in this first quarter, don't you, Aaron?
I think he's trying to send a message as well. Remember, he was a little bitter that he didn't get re-signed. They bring J.J. Watt in. He's had 3 sacks so far in this game. Taylor Lewan is really struggling with the uber-athletic Jones off the edge. My goodness.
Look how fast he is to the quarterback.
He is a creature, like a velociraptor out there.
19 sacks in 2019, and that was nearly blocked. In fact, it was misdirected.
Tipped. No penalty because it was tipped.
Tanner Vallejo had a piece of it. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this.
Finally, another wide receiver in the house, my man.
So, you ready to learn how the Heismans do it?
Can't wait. Once at 8, then again at 6.
Hi. Did one of you gentlemen use Nissan at Home to order 40 Pathfinders?
Baker said it's another Heisman thing. I didn't think you'd believe me.
Here are your keys, sir.
Mike Vrabel was worried about special teams and block punts because last year Arizona did have a block punt against San Francisco that really changed the game. That was a partial block there that slowed the track of the football. It'll be first down from the 30-yard line. Kyler Murray off the play fake. Murray, he can just tuck it and run at this point if he wants, and he's out of bounds. He lost a couple of yards. All right, so special teams so important.
There's no question. You want to dive for the area in front of the ball. Thank goodness Vallejo gets just a piece of it with that right hand. Otherwise, this would be roughing the kicker.
Yes.
It was on his plant leg where he made contact, but you see Vallejo not only making it rain, but also indicating that he tipped the ball so that he didn't get any laundry.
And the fans here at Nissan Stadium, as we wind down the first quarter, they were booing because I don't think they saw the initial tip. 10-0 Arizona. They've had penalties, but they've also had some explosiveness. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this. Welcome back to Nissan Stadium. Opening day between the Cardinals and the Tennessee Titans. Arizona has had 3 sacks from Chandler Jones in the first quarter. He's the first Cardinal ever with 3 sacks in the first quarter of the game. He's also reached 100 sacks for his career. Arizona's back on offense, facing a second down and 12. Play clock is down to 4. Murray off the play fake, has time, zips it to Hopkins, and he's got a first down in front of Jackrabbit Jenkins to the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 10 on the play. Chandler Jones has been pretty special here this afternoon. It's the 8th fewest in NFL history to 100 sacks.
3 today and had only 1 all of last year. Another critical situation for Tennessee. They allowed 52% conversions last year, a historical worst.
On third down, Murray brings the pocket to the near sideline for Hopkins, and he could not break free, and they're going to put a penalty flag. Jenkins is going to be called for the penalty. What'd you think on that, Aaron? I know you watched it live from our great
Pass
vantage point.
Defense, number 20. Spot of the foul, automatic. First down.
I think they got this right. Jackrabbit Jenkins is the best cornerback, but it was a lot of contact right there, clearly before the ball comes. DeAndre Hopkins couldn't even rotate his body to the left to even attempt the catch.
They were having a pretty good conversation as that play ended also, where Jenkins was telling him he wasn't doing it. Hopkins said, "You are doing it," and he pointed to the big video board here at Nissan Stadium.
That was one of the things I wanted to see, is how they were going to use Jenkins, whether or not they were going to shadow him or not. They're moving him all around.
They had the ball off to Connor, and Connor plows down to the 41. It's a gain of 4.
I love James Conner's story, brought here from Pittsburgh. He's a big power runner, but that's a nice gain on first down that opens the rest of the offense up.
Out of the backfield, it's Edmonds this time. Dupree trying to track him down. He cannot. Jenkins makes the tackle, but it's a first down inside the 35-yard line, down close to the 32. A gain of 10.
What I love about receivers that aren't afraid to get dirty is the way that they're out there willing to block. DeAndre Hopkins doing an excellent job that time to create some room for Edmonds to move the sticks.
Hopkins 4 catches today, 57 yards. He's moved past Shannon Sharp on the all-time list.
Empty. You got to be alert drawer. This football coming out quickly. No back and pass protection help.
Play clock down to 8 underneath to Kirk. Kirk makes a couple men miss. And inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Hey, Trevor Lawrence is having a day, JB.
Hey, Tom, nice going for Trevor so far, Boom.
Yeah, he's 8 of 14, 120 yards. How about this touchdown pass, his first of his young career? That's the Chris Manhertz right there. 14-7, Texans over the Jaguars. Nice throw by Trevor.
Back to Tom McCarthy.
All right, JB, we appreciate that. Jacksonville's lost 15 consecutive games, hence the reason why they were able to get Trevor Lawrence.
I cannot believe it's not about that hair.
Connor running left, flags come in, backpedaling his way close to the first down marker. Jerome Boger's crew has been busy.
Right guard.
Outside. Defense, number 98. Lining up in the neutral zone.
Wow.
This penalty is declined, the result of the play. First down.
Yeah, so they'll take the first down run. Penalty called on Jeffrey Simmons.
Critical error. I definitely saw the right guard jump. Simmons stepped up and pointed at him, but only after Justin Murray moved. So Simmons must have lined up in the neutral zone prior to the snap.
Bunch formation for the Cardinals near the line. Murray's going to keep it himself. He's got a blocker. He's got a couple of blockers. Slices his way inside the 15. And I think we're going to get holding against the Cardinals. We shall see. Might be A.J. Green who did the holding.
Holding. Offense, number 18. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Well-designed play, but you just see A.J. Green right here holding across the chest and impeding the movement backside of Harold Landry. When you're out there in the open field, you got to get your hands inside. Receivers aren't necessarily used to doing that. You got to keep your head play side and keep running, and that at least gives the back a chance to cut off you and certainly avoids the yellow flag.
Hey, I got to tell you, Harold Landry has played pretty well here in this first half. I know it's 10-0 Arizona, but the linebacker for the Titans has been involved in a lot of stuff. Play clock down to 2. Edmonds slices through inside the 20. And he's able to get himself down to the 17. Amani Hooker makes the tackle.
When you're running draws, it's imperative to get yourself north and south. Edmonds did a nice job of busting it up in there. But when you can gain 5 yards on first down, your entire playbook is open. You can run Kyler Murray here. You can run screens out of here to the trip side at the bottom of the field.
Third trip to the red zone for the Cardinals. Play clock is under 5. Murray knows it. Little slant to Hopkins. Hopkins with a spin move toward the end zone. Dives. Touchdown, Arizona. Kevin Byard was in on the coverage, and that was a move that knocked Byard out of his shoes. It's 16-0 Cardinals on a 17-yard touchdown pass and run.
Just an excellent job. Tennessee tried to bring some pressure here that got their players out of position, too soft of coverage, especially on a player like Hopkins, and Murray makes them pay.
And did he get in? He's across right there. Jerome Boger's going to stop the point after. Yeah, he's in right there. That's a good shot.
Great shot. Great effort by him, having the awareness of where he is on the football field to outstretch his hands. Had he not done that, he would have fallen short.
9 plays, 70 yards. Prater's on for the point after. And Prater's able to connect. It's 17-0 Arizona. DeAndre Hopkins, his touchdowns today have had a couple of different personalities. He's using his legs on both. Arizona's on top 17-0. DeAndre Hopkins has 2 touchdown passes, 74 yards receiving. Kyler Murray's 10 of 14 for 105 yards in this first half. He would also have over 50 yards rushing if it weren't for penalties by Arizona. Prater's kickoff is going to send Rodgers back to the back of the end zone. Inside the NFL is now streaming. The hardest hitting team of analysts in football provide expert insight and exclusive commentary you won't find anywhere else. Stream new episodes Tuesdays at 9:30 Eastern exclusively on Paramount+. All right, Aaron Taylor, how are you going to stop J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones and everybody else from Arizona if you're the Titans?
Successful first down runs. It starts and ends there for this Titan offense.
Derrick Henry in the backfield off the play fake. They throw it underneath, and it's incomplete. It may have been tipped. I think that Marcus Golden got a hand on it.
I like the play call there to go play action, but you have 3 unblocked defenders. You can already tell 4 unblocked defenders. Tennessee's trying to get too cute. They're trying to run a quick screen out here to the outside edge with A.J. Brown. This is almost a white flag that's being waved right now by Tennessee. They don't feel like they can run on this Arizona defense, and I agree with them.
Man, Marcus Golden, number 44 out of Missouri, at his 7th year, got his hand on that. And now an empty backfield for the Titans. Play clock down to 1. Tannehill, A.J. Brown. And Brown's got a first down. A little bit of a mock cheer here at Nissan Stadium.
Well, they're as surprised as we are. Raise your hand if you had 17-0 at the beginning of the second quarter on your bingo card. If Tennessee wants to win this game, it's going to have to be Ryan Tannehill and these great receivers with Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, as we saw right there.
So that's the first reception for A.J. Brown. Julio Jones has not made a catch yet. Derrick Henry is nailed and taken down. Isaiah Simmons came in with his shoulder.
Isaiah Simmons, watch him backside. The guard is going to try to cut him off, but he can't. This is the athleticism that Simmons brings to the table. He comes unblocked and just cuts the legs out of the NFL's most tough runner. They wanted to make those plays behind the line of scrimmage, and they did exactly that there.
7 carries, 8 yards for Derrick Henry. Tannehill to throw, throws to the right, passes complete to Firkser, and he's got a first down. Robert Alford was in on the coverage. Firkser was a first down machine last year for the Titans.
He was incredible. Top 15 and third down producer in the entire NFL, Tom. And I think we're about to see a situation here, oddly enough, where Tennessee is going to use the pass to helpfully set up the run. It's usually the other way around, but the way Arizona is defending them, they're going to have to flip the script a bit here.
Ball's at midfield. And Henry, flea flicker. Tannehill looking right, throwing right, has Chester Rogers. And Rogers is down inside the 15. A flag is down at the 45. I think this was a beautifully designed play by the Titans. And the penalty is going to go against Arizona.
Holding. Defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play. First down.
Gain of 39 yards. Chester Rogers going to be implemented even more here because of the injury to Cam Batson and Josh Reynolds. Reynolds was supposed to be a big piece to this puzzle, but the Achilles, the foot, have been banged up. They're hoping to get him back soon. First down inside the 12. Bunch formation, bottom of your screen. Tannehill to the end zone. Pass is incomplete, intended for Julio Jones. Coverage by Byron Murphy. Could he have let him maybe a little bit more on that?